Hey John, thank you for coming in, man. That was fun. I think we got that shoulder fairly figured out, at least for where we are right now in this phase. Who knows, in a week or two, things move, things change. We'll readdress it then. But I really think it's not a terrible shoulder injury, like we talked about, just annoying enough to be a nuisance. But I think we can figure this out. So the first step on the shoulder isn't anything to do with strength, right? I don't think you fully got out of that inflammation that you had from the initial injury. So I still want you to ice once or twice a day. 5 to 10 minutes is plenty. I wouldn't mind still sticking with Advil for a little bit longer. You can definitely wean on that if we can get to, again, I want to get a pain-free day, right? Instead of having a day where you feel this thing a half a dozen times, we got to string a couple pain-free days together first before we start getting away from the ice and moving up on the strength moves. So we're close. I'm hoping a week. Within a week, I'm hoping we're close to being there. As far as the movements, I have 3 shoulder moves that I want you to do fairly regularly. Could be 2, 3, 4 times a day. I don't want to worry too much about frequency and counting reps. Remember, we don't want to count reps necessarily. We want to just do it till it's tired, do it till it's challenging. No pain, keep all the pain low when we're doing these. We're picking light weights, we're picking easy movements. We're picking ones where the right arm was night and day worse at it than the left arm. And then if we catch those up, we should have less functional deficits when we get done. So, all right, here we go. First one's gonna be rotation. I like the kitchen table or desk or something where you can rest your elbow. It's a very controlled movement going down, smooth coming up. Controlled going down, smooth coming up. What that's working is the back side of the rotator cuff, not where you had your tearing necessarily, but definitely it's gotten weak. I don't know if this has been weak for just 3 weeks. My assumption is it's been quite a bit longer. So I'm hoping it comes back quick though. So just nice and steady. You want to do anywhere between 10 and 30. Don't really care where you fall, as long as you're getting a little challenge at the end. So this last one might be a pretty good burn. Plenty. Don't do it again for a few hours. All right. Love that one. That was also, you could do, on the knee as well, like we talked about. So kind of wherever you want. I want your elbow kind of high with your shoulder. I don't want you doing it down here. Does not get us any extra work. We want it to be upward. That's 5. We did that with 5 pounds in here. So anything around 5 is great. If you want to go a little less to stay comfortable, be my guest. Then in here we were like 1.5 to 2 pounds. This was the lead with your thumb, turn about 45 degrees, and this is lifting at about 45 degrees here. No higher than your head, no need right now. Just we're getting some tension. Again, this is the angle that usually pinchy, a little bit of pain. So we're going light enough so we get 0 pain, but heavy enough where, you know what, I'm gonna get tired after half a dozen or a dozen or 2 of these. So your call, nice and steady. If you don't know if you're doing it right, guess what? Go the left arm. And when that's just a piece of cake, then you'll know, okay, I'm training the right stuff here on the right one. Get that one tired, be done for a few hours. Again, morning, noon, and night would be lovely. If you only get once a day, that'll work too. All right, still going on the shoulder. Let's go with, this one is a little less, it's not really rotator cuff specific. I just wanted you to get used to holding weight overhead. So I'm thinking about 10 pounds is kind of where we are right now. That proved to be in here enough of a challenge, but not painful, kind of getting that up and down. So pretty much I'm just looking for once or twice a day, just a really long hold here. Hold this up and do a lap around the house, watch TV, do some other stuff, but it's just gonna get tired up here, right? So you're just training the resiliency of that shoulder. We don't need to get fancy and add a bunch of turns, circles. That might be stuff we mess with next time. But right now, just holding some weight. Again, same thing. You do left arm, I bet you it's gonna feel like a breeze. And that shouldn't be the case for a guy who calls himself right-handed. So again, that's what makes me think it's been going on for a minute. More than just the golf injury, just some general weakness. So just holding weight overhead. Difference between I'm getting tired, muscles are burning, versus sharp pain where I have my injury. So please know the difference. No pain in that spot, but general fatigue is what we're going for. So I love that one. This might be a little less frequent than the others. Non-shoulder division. All right, I got two things for you, man. For that low back and maybe the culprit for the hamstring issue you had. Again, I thought your hamstrings looked pretty good. So more just, I think they could be getting caused by a little bit of weakness or tightness in that low back. Again, we talked about how you kind of are flat here. We don't have a great arch going on. So it could be stuff we can work on down the road for that. But right now, the one we talked about in here, weight is optional, but if you can just hug a dumbbell, works great. Wide stance, give yourself some room, and you're pretty much sinking between your legs and then arching back out of it. Look at my back when we do this. You're gonna get to a bad posture here, but you wanna give yourself really good posture coming out of it. That's gonna strengthen the low back. Also, the further your feet are, your little hamstring stretch too. I think it's a combination of hamstrings get a little bit on stretch in that car, and then that back gets a little bit forward. That's a big pull there. All right, so if we can remedy that back and get this back a little bit more resilient and ready for good posture, I think that hamstring has a little more freedom. On this one, this could even just be once a day. We're not really trying to beat this up. This isn't a rehab move. This is more just general building. So once or twice a day, your call. Don't really care about reps. 10 is fine. Just let's start the process. I'm really excited for you to report back on that one in a couple weeks and see how we're doing. All right, man, last thing I had, we were talking just kind of some general strength work. And again, we're not really ready for the push-ups and the pull-ups and all the big boy stuff because of the shoulders got us. So I'm a big fan of working more just posture and position, right? I know you spend some time on the floor already doing your bridge work or your hamstring work, but go ahead and go face down here and just hold. I mean, the simplest thing we can do is just hold it, right? Get your chest off the ground, shoulder blades are squeezing, and you're just fighting to stay up, all right? And 30 seconds later, you're gonna be dead. Or you can do reps. I don't care what you're doing with your arms. Remember, I mentioned skydivers in here. I kind of like the skydiver move. You don't have to worry about your lower half necessarily right now, but you want to kind of mimic like you are free falling right now. Great shoulder blade builder, great back of the shoulder builder. Just really good for posture in general. And I think that's just a box you haven't checked in a while, man. So again, I like these. Just mix and match. At those in your routine if you don't mind. It'd be a good kickstart because then once the shoulder's down, if we want to talk a little bit more traditional strength work, at least those muscles will be ready to party. So I think that's all I got, man. Again, I'm really confident about the shoulder moves. And if the shoulder does have a couple bad days and gets angry, get back on the ice, Advil, calm it down. Don't do a lot of the rehab even if it's sore. And then you can start to get back in the process. And you know that we had good luck here getting it calmed down. So if at any point it gets real bad, I'm here and we can always get back to where we were. I think this plan is solid. And I think in 2-3 weeks time, should get you back down to 0. But it might not be a smooth path, right? You might have a bad day mixed in here or there. So if that's the case, feel free to let me know and we can work around it. So, all right, man, that's all I got. I'll see you in 2 weeks. Let me know if anything comes up. Take care, John. Bye.